Ayo unit, it's time to rock. Welcome to a whole new week of Amped Up. I want to jump right into it and start with a huge update from our last upload, which covered all of the WWE releases, or at least all the names that we had heard about at the time. But within the last 24 hours, another name has been added to that list, this being Elektra Lopez. So Elektra Lopez has been added to this list of WWE releases or contracts that will not be renewed. A list that already included Sonya Deville, AOP, Good Brothers, Cedric, Giovanni, Davenport, and so many others. So I'll say this about Elektra Lopez, because you have to have full transparency, full honesty when speaking about releases, right? Because usually, when you hear about releases, they fall under two categories: legit outrage, fake outrage. Like for BC, legit outrage is somebody like Cameron Grimes getting released or fired. Cameron Grimes had the gift to gab, so good on the microphone, could carry a storyline. We saw that several times in NXT, and he was good in the ring. And Cameron Grimes never truly even got the chance to do anything. Cameron Grimes is gone. Now that's concern, right? It raises a lot of questions, and yeah, you could see why a lot of fans, a lot of the wrestlers in those walls of those companies, there'd be some outrage. And then there's fake outrage, right? Somebody like, I don't know, pick Lacey Evans. Right? Salute to Lacey Evans. But you're probably not that shocked, and it's probably not that much outrage when you heard that Lacey Evans will no longer be with WWE. Like, if you heard that Evans was being released or fired, you're not shocked about it. It's not like, how could this happen? There was this deep connection. She was so good in the ring. She carried storylines like nobody else. No, this probably wasn't the case. It's like, yeah, it makes sense, right? So, legit outrage, fake outrage. With somebody like Elektra Lopez, there actually is that third category, and it's kind of just disappointment. It's kind of just upsetting that we never truly got to see what she could do. That's the truth. Not on the main roster. We saw her a couple times in the ring, and you could base the rest of her career on her skills right now. Sure. Oh, she wasn't that good. No harm, no foul. She's released. No big deal. But if we're just basing it on skill level, then there's probably 50 more names that should have already been gone from WWE. Elektra Lopez checked off a lot of boxes. She could have probably been something special if given the time of day. Just so much about Lopez, man. First of all, the look. I mean, the beauty is just next level. You look at Elektra Lopez, triple, you're walking into a pole probably, right? If Elektra Lopez is going into Starbucks, you're probably going face first into a pole. Or you're 180ing and you're following into that Starbucks. Elektra Lopez, the look, of course, check. The name, dude, that's a badass name for pro wrestling. Elektra Lopez. Stop, dude. That's it. Whoever came up with that name, bank on it. I always felt she was good in her backstage promos, no matter what she was in, whether singly or with the group. And again, her wrestling wasn't atrocious. You build on it. So the fact that we never truly got to see, like, Elektra get a real shot, a real chance to see if she can sink or swim, right? Maybe she could swim. And if she sank, at least we gave her a real chance. But she never got that captivating storyline to see if she could, right? A storyline that is worthy enough, the superstar themselves just has to pull the storyline to the finish line. Sometimes the wrestlers can't do that, then okay. Sayonara, check you. You got Das Boot. But what if the wrestler does take that story and make it something special? Hey, we're on to something. Elektra Lopez could be a star. I don't know. Elektra Lopez is just odd to me because we never truly got to see her shine. She never got a chance, like a real chance. And we see that a lot of times in this company. Blair Davenport got a couple of matches with like Naomi, maybe one other person. Then she wasn't seen again, then booted. Chelsea Green, the first time when she got released under Vincent Kennedy, she got called up and never got a chance to do anything. So it's mind-boggling. I still don't know what happened to Kiana James. There's just a laundry list of decisions that are made and then they never truly get a chance. So why did you make the decision in the first place? It's very odd. I don't know. I don't want to speak in circles or give you guys a bunch of word salad. I'm still trying to comprehend somebody like Electra Lopez being put in that position, being given absolutely nothing, just weak-ass storylines, her and her group, and then just getting booted. It's just weird. It's almost like they put these wrestlers in positions to fail or don't give them anything, no position to actually succeed, and then they turn around and go, oh, that didn't work. You're fired. It's weird to me. Anyway, Electra Lopez. I know you guys are interested on my take on a lot of these releases, so I did want to take the cold open to just go over that latest name. We are hearing that more names are supposed to be discussed throughout this afternoon, so don't be shocked if you hear more releases during Raw tonight and tomorrow morning afternoon. So that's just what we're hearing as well. So we'll see if that pans out. We hope not. We never want to see people lose their job. But in business, you have to at times. You know what I mean? You have to trim the fat. And WWE, AEW, all of these companies, they just have too many individuals. And it's quality over quantity. Too many people on the ship will not make it sail. It'll make it sink. So I totally understand this has to happen. It's just some of the decisions are always mind-boggling. Salute to Electra Lopez. She'll be just fine, man. She's got the look. I don't think she'll be able to carry the name, but I think she'll be just fine. Let's move on, man. Did anything happen over the last 24 hours? Any big event or anything? The Super Bowl. That's what was last night. Yes, the Chiefs and the Eagles. BC remains defiant. I'm still repping my Green Bay Packers, whether they were in this game or not. Free coffee day over at Starbucks. If you guys pass a Starbucks, if you have the app, they're actually giving out free coffees. So when I went in, I didn't know. So I went to get my double shot pistachio latte. And they said, hey, if you got the app, we can give you an extra coffee. So I'm double fisted, man. All my coffee tables have a coffee. And they're all filled to the brim. So yeah, we're going to be amped up. But free coffee day over at Starbucks. This game sucked, right? I mean, this is one of the worst games you're possibly going to see in Super Bowl history, probably just ever, not just Super Bowl. This is just a bad game. The Chiefs just got annihilated by the Eagles, guys. If you didn't see the game and you just saw the score, I think it was like 40-22. You're probably thinking it was close the whole game, and then in the fourth quarter, the Eagles kind of widened the gap, but that's not the case. The Chiefs just got annihilated the entire game. Like they had 0 points in like the third quarter. It was like 30-0, something like that. I mean, it was bad, man. The halftime show, absolutely controversial, right? Kendrick Lamar. I saw this post and it's so true. It's just so accurate. And it just said, and I don't want to butcher it. It's like, if you don't like rap, that was the worst show ever, right? In quotes. That's what people are saying. If they don't listen to rap and hip hop, that was the worst show ever in halftime history. If you do like rap, absolutely legendary, in quotes. So it's just the tale of two tapes, right? If you don't like rap, hip hop, if that's not your cup of coffee, you were probably saying that was horrible. If you do like rap and you do know the new age, and you're into Kendrick, and you know the feud with Drake and all of that, because that was a big part of that, if you guys caught it, then you probably liked it. It's a matter of if it's your cup of coffee or not. That's not my cup of coffee, and I'm old school rap, hip hop, I get it. I am team old school. But for BC, when you go Pac and Biggie and Nas and Wu-Tang like that to what I witnessed last night, for BC, it's night and day. It just is, guys. It's Jordan LeBron. I totally get it. LeBron's beast. There's only one Jordan, right? So to see the new age here, and much props to Kendrick, man. He did his thing. But just from what we had, I mean, it's Attitude Era, Netflix Mutual Respect era. It's just night and day, guys. It is, man. I wish that wasn't the case, but oh man, I don't know. So that's going to be a controversial take, that halftime show. They do have to find a way just to widen it out. That goes for every single year. Like, can they check off many boxes to satisfy many different genres or boxes that people like? You know what I mean? Like add a little bit of flavor into these shows. So you can, yeah, just like I say in pro wrestling, like you want to check off every box, you know? These type of shows, you got to remember, there's so many fans that don't even want to watch the game itself. They're watching for commercials in the halftime show. And it was just a very one-dimensional show. So I would say that every single year, try to add so many dimensions. Make it so universally, like, just kick ass. You know what I mean? So nobody can truly go, what was that? It'll be like, dude, you had every cup of coffee in that show. If you didn't like it, that's on you, man. But Kendrick did his thing. It's just from what I had in the rap hip hop game back in the day to this. Yeah. It made me miss all of my old school acts, man. And then you had the what I already went over the game. The commercials were So that was the Super Bowl, man. That was the big thing last night. A lot of big names in the pro wrestling world were there, guys. How about Taker? Taker was there, dude. Taker had his rum and coke in his hand. He had his Jimmy Buffett hat. Taker was there to party, bro. Taker was there. He gave not one iota that maybe it's not the best, just carrying your rum and coke around on the sidelines. I don't think anybody else actually had a mixed drink on him. Taker did not care. Dude just came to party. Shane O'Mac was there. Shane was looking like a pissed off coach, right? Shane probably bet the house on the Chiefs, and we all know how that worked out or didn't work out. So Shane was not happy, it looked like. Or Shane was just like, put me in there. I'll score more points than the Chiefs. Too funny. Shane O'Mac at the Super Bowl. How about Papa Shane O'Mac? Papa Mac. VKM, Vincent Kennedy McMahon, former full owner of World Wrestling Entertainment. Vince was there at the Super Bowl, guys. Now, from the neck up, this looked like old school VKM, guys. This was old school VKM from the neck up, right? He lost the pitch black dyed hair and that stupid mustache. This was the more fizzled out brown, even grayish hair, clean shaven. It looked like Vince, dude. That's from the neck up. From the neck down, it looked like Adam Cole, baby. I mean, Vince looks like he retired from the gym. That's unfortunate, man. Vince lived and breathed in that gym. That was his spinach to Popeye. So that was morphin' time for Vince. When he got in that gym, it was a whole new dude. But it looks like he's following the Adam Cole regime, man. Just, once a month is good. Once a month in the gym. The Adam Cole workout. Oh, Vinnie Mac. Doesn't look like he's hitting the gym anymore. That's kind of, that sucks. Talking about bosses of companies, what about over in All Elite Wrestling? AEW's boss, Tony Khan, was at the Super Bowl, man. I love how he's still mocking Hunter Helmsley with that stupid finger point. He still mocks. That's how that started. You remember, like, somebody told him about that, Hunter's point. So he started doing, and then all of a sudden now it's the thing. So now he's doing the stupid finger point non-stop. You guys hear that story that, where was it? Whatever body of water's near New Orleans, like the closest, like Papa Khan, Shad Khan, owner of the Jaguars of the NFL. He parked his was it million? No, more than that. I think it was $1 billion. Man, was it 1 million? Can't be $1 billion. Listen, a lot of money into a yacht, and he parked it right. Could you imagine just riding up to New Orleans in your yacht, your multi-million-dollar yacht? I'm just gonna put you. You're not dry. You're not Ubering up. You're not even taking a limo. You're bringing your yacht to the Super Bowl. Unreal, man. Papa Shad Khan. That's how much money. If you guys think AEW is going out of business anytime soon, you have no idea how much money Shad Khan has. So anyway, all the pro wrestling stars, the head honchos, they were all at the Super Bowl. I'm pretty sure. I would not doubt that Hunter was there as well. We don't have any confirmation on that or pics, but Hunter's always at these things. You guys know how that is, man. If Hunter can get some cameras on him, chum it up with some celebrities, Hunter is jumping on that. And that's it. That's the Super Bowl talk. That's the pro wrestling connection to the Super Bowl. Vincent Kennedy, Tony Khan, Shane McMahon, they were all there, man. Taker, and probably a plethora of others. It was funny. Taylor Swift got booed. Swifties, what happened, man? You didn't show up to the bowl. Is there any Swifties? Is that what you call them, Swifties? They didn't show. They were not there in New Orleans, bro. Taylor Swift completely booed in that stadium. Donald Trump, the president of the United States, with a massive eruption of a roar. A massive cheer during the national anthem. Usually you don't hear that. Right, you always see the Tron, people go up on it, but nobody really breaks out of, they're all singing along or they're being cordial. But when Trump's image came up, the whole stadium erupted. That was a wild moment. Yeah, that was wild, man. Swift got completely booed. Don Trump completely cheered. Shows you it shows you kind of the mindset of the country's direction. It was wild. Wild. Don Trump there saluting. That's all the Super Bowl, man. I think that's everything that I got for you. Yeah, it was a wild... I just wish the game was better, obviously, and I wish, the halftime show, again, salute to Kendrick, but it left me yearning for what we had in the hip-hop game. Let's go over to the Raw preview. What do you guys say? Elimination Chamber qualifiers tonight is all that we have. We know that Jason Uso will be yeeting for about 30 minutes tonight. We know that Pat McAfee will be talking about climaxing in the front row because he's yeeting so much. We know that Michael Cole will yeet so much he will blow out a hammy. We know that Jey Uso, once the music finally stops after 20 minutes, they will chant one more time, and he will say, "Hit my music again," and we will yeet for another 3 minutes. They will once again chant, "You deserve it. You deserve it." So we know all that's going to happen tonight, and we know that all that's going to happen going forward for the next 2 months. And we know that we're just going to hear nonstop, "Basically, he's super over. He's pushing merchandise, basically." I know, guys, I know. I know. Let's just hope it's exciting. It is, BC. We get to yeet every show. Yes, we're yeeting. Pro Wrestling in 2025. We are yeeting. We went from Hulkamania, Stone Cold's era, the Shattered Glass era, to the Yeet era. And again, 2 qualifiers for the Chamber tonight. For the dudes, it will be Raymond Mysterio versus Logan Paul. Rey Mysterio, Logan Paul, 1-on-1. And for the ladies, it's going to be Bayley versus Valkyria, your newly crowned IC champion for the ladies. So Bayley, Valkyria. 2 1-on-1 contests. And that's what's weird about SmackDown, right? They just have all these triple threats now. I'm like, why? How is that even fair to those competitors? Every other match is 1-on-1 for these qualifiers. These are triple threats. Makes absolutely no sense. Just like Nia Jax getting an automatic title opportunity against Tiffany Stratton next week. She didn't win the Rumble. Some fans are trying to find logic. Well, basically, what if she was owed a rematch, basically? Tough shit. Why do you think she was in the Rumble? Because that is not active right now. Right now, it is about who wins the Rumble, and that is who gets the title opportunity. That's it. Oh boy, that didn't happen. And Nia Jax just comes out and she's like, I'm going to face you for the title next week. And I'm like, dude, you lost the Rumble. What are you talking about? So wild, man. That's what this company does. They just do random things and they hope that we just don't ask the questions. So we'll find out. I'm hearing that Cody might show up tonight. There's really no reason to do that. Jay showed up SmackDown, confronted Cody. I told you guys what was going to happen 24 hours before SmackDown. I said him and Jay are going to be in a tag match against Jacob Fatu and Tama Tonka Truck. That's exactly what happened, guys. That's exactly what happened. So there's no reason for Cody. We know Jay's not picking Cody because it just wouldn't make sense. You did not go from Cody versus Roman 2 Manias in a row. Cody and the tribal chief, Roman Reigns, to Cody and Jason Uso. Tell me we did not just go from that to that. So there's no way. It just wouldn't make sense. So we're going to do the redundant weird thing with Gunther and Jason Uso. But there's no reason for Cody to be there. I was just hearing that there's a good chance he could be there. I just don't see what the reasoning would be. I had to take a second, show some love to my free coffee. My free coffee is like, dude, I know I'm not a latte, but I'm still worthy. Speaking of worthy, this next story. This is so telling, man. Baron Corbin, right? We're on the topic of releases the last couple of days due to the mass releases from WWE. Corbin was recently let go from the company. You guys know that. And Corbin is shedding some more light on his release and how caught off guard he was. And to this day, he just does not understand why. Nobody has told him, no transparency. This is what Corbin says now. And I want to give you guys this quote so we can talk about it with full transparency. So Corbin said, listen, that regular coffee is good, but let me get us, there's nothing like the pistachio double shot. All right, I had to, right before we jump into the story. Sorry, regular coffee. But Corbin says, and I quote, I wish for my own sanity I knew why I was released. For everyone asking, I don't know. Randy Orton was like, dude, I gotta call Hunter. Like, what the hell? I don't understand why they let me go. I've been a company guy for 13 years. I've done really great things with things that were just not great. I don't know why. I believe there's one person that influenced this decision, and that's what put me in this position that I'm in. Remember, Corbin says, and I quote, this was in an interview a couple weeks ago, guys. Corbin said, this is a quote, a month before I was released, Hunter was standing next to me in the ring. He looks at me and he says, you should be very proud of yourself. You accomplished a lot. He said Hunter was standing next to him, just looked at him and said, you should be proud of yourself. You've accomplished a lot. Corbin should have known right then and there, his time in WWE was up. In any company, in any place of employment, when your boss walks up to you and looks at you out of the blue, uncharacteristically, looks at you and goes, you should be proud of yourself. You've done a lot. You've accomplished a lot. Be proud of yourself. Give yourself a pat on the back. And walks away. If you're thinking that was weird, yeah, it is. He was basically telling you at that point that the decision was made, man. Like, he's recalling there was that odd time when Hunter just walked up to me right before I was released, a few weeks before, and says, be proud of yourself. You've done a lot. You've accomplished a lot. Guys, like when I first read that, when I first found out about that, I was like, how did you not know right there? That's not good writing on the wall. Hunter was telling you. This is just how Hunter does business. He's not going to be honest with you. He's not going to go, dude, because Corbin thinks there's this one person, like back in the day, people thought it was, what was Vince's right-hand man there? Kevin Dunn, head of production. If Kevin didn't like you, that was it. And then as they transitioned to Hunter Hearst Helmsley's regime, they still had the Michael P.S. Hayeses, the Brewster Pritchards, and those names. But Michael P.S. Hayes and Brewster Pritchard, for the most part, get along with all of these regimes. So I don't know who Corbin could possibly be talking about, who he thinks was like the head influencer of it, unless it's somebody drastic like Nick Khan. It's not a Michael P.S. Hayes. It's not a Brewster Pritchard. It's like a Nick Khan or somebody. But somebody of great power he thinks helped to influence it. The problem is the way that he would talk about Hunter is like so many, right? He's Papa H. He's always giving them the Papa speeches, you know? He's like that father figure. And he always tells them what they want to hear, and he's in their corner. And whenever something happens in their career that's not good, Hunter, it's not him. It's kind of telling, though, that he's never there when they get booted or fired, released, cut from the company, right? He's never there. He's never there to defend them. He doesn't offer a call afterwards for full transparency. Corbin to this day is telling you, for my own sanity, I wish I knew. I had other wrestlers that were about to call Hunter because he just won't tell me. Randy Orton was going to call him, and Corbin most likely was like, no, dude, stop. Don't make it worse. If Hunter truly went to bat for these dudes like they claim, because Hunter gives them the hoorah speeches, the daddy speeches, and he has nothing to do with these releases. He's the head of content. He's the content officer, the chief. The chief. I don't even know what the fuck that means. He's a chief. There's tribal chiefs. There's content chiefs. Hunter is a chief of content. Do you honestly think Baron's just going, or any of these talents, and Hunter has no idea? There's people with these releases, they're like, basically, Hunter has nothing to know. It's Ari from Endeavor, it's Nick Khan, and a bunch of other business suits and ties. And then Hunter just has to eat the shit that trickles down. Guys, Hunter is involved with all of it. They would tell him, dude, this is what's happening. This is what we're thinking. Is this okay? Was he a big part of your storyline? Did AOP and Final Testament have this drastic WrestleMania storyline because we were thinking about cutting them because of these costs? Of course Hunter's involved. Hunter didn't just show up and go, oh, wow, 12 names got real, a dozen names gone. Okay, fuck, there goes my WrestleMania plans. Of course he's in the conversation. He's the chief of the content. That's like if you're running a grocery store, right? You're the manager of a store. You don't walk into the store one day and the bakery aisle, the bakery section is completely gone, and so is the produce department. That's it. Nobody told you about it. It was just business. Upper management just decided to take it out. They just never told the store manager. So the manager walks in, he's got no bakery section, he's got no produce department, you know. And you didn't even get an email from corporate, no text, nothing. Right? Corbin finds out he's gone. He doesn't even know why. And Hunter, who always gave him the hoorah speeches, Hunter, who was always in his corner, doesn't even tell him why. Instead, Hunter looks at him a few weeks before the release and says, be proud of yourself. You've accomplished a lot. Just trying to plant the seeds. Like, don't forget, I'm the good guy. I'm a good Samaritan. This is we hear this time and time again, guys. How everybody gets these Papa H speeches, and then they just get released out of nowhere, and Hunter is nowhere to be found. Like, if you truly care, wouldn't you tell them? Do you know how many talents got released and they have no idea why? And when interviewed, they're like, I don't think it was. I mean, Hunter was always a big fan of mine, he said, and he always tried to give me these good speeches and this and that. And then all of a sudden, when I got released, I didn't hear from him ever again. It was anybody else, right? Everybody else did it, not Hunter. Who was the first person? Listen to this, guys. Just listen to the words and you'll find out everything you need to know. Corbin is telling Randy, and what's the first thing Randy said? Corbin said, and I quote, Randy Orton was like, dude, I gotta call Hunter. Randy's been around long enough to know who is actually in charge of these type of decisions. Randy didn't say, dude, I gotta call Nick Khan. Dude, I gotta call Ari. Dude, I got to call the financial department for making these cuts. Randy said, dude, I'm going to call Hunter right now. Because he knows. Hunter has one talk with Nick Khan. Baron Corbin's there, bro. AOP's there. Good Brothers are there. Blair Davenport, not Kalani Jordan. What'd I just say? Kiana James? I don't know, man. I'm just saying. If Hunter is truly legit and sincere with what he's telling these talents, then he would have honest conversations when they get released. He would be the one to tell them they're getting released and why. So that Corbin doesn't have to go insane thinking, why did I? Corbin says, I wish for my own sanity I knew. Hunter didn't even give him the courtesy. Even if, and it's bullshit, but even if Hunter had no idea or had no control over it, BC, this was a financial thing and Hunter's hands were tied, man. If that was true, wouldn't Hunter at least do some calls afterwards, have some talk, have a coffee with Corbin? Have a cup of coffee or at least a call? Iron it all out. Dude, I supported you, man, 13 years. This is exactly why. Map it out, half an hour convo. Have some respect for the dude. Because Baron thinks you did have it for him. But then you just left the guy hanging. And now this guy, I couldn't imagine working somewhere for 13 years and not knowing why you got canned. We can come up with a conclusion. But BC, it's Baron, dude, and there was no connection in this. Fans can have all the... That's fine. In those walls, though, Baron has no idea. Because Hunter was always giving these hoorah daddy speeches. Hunter, a month before, said, dude, be proud of yourself. You've accomplished a lot. So when your boss is pumping you up like that, you think you're good. And then you get canned and your boss is nowhere to be found, doesn't want to talk to you. How is that a way to treat people? We hear these stories time and time again. That is a snake, man. That is an absolute snake. I'd rather you not give me all this fluff and then screw over from behind, man. You know what I mean? Because that's what Hunter's doing. Telling you all this stuff, you turn around and he screws you. He doesn't even buy you dinner first. That's just what he does. And then everybody lets him off the hook. Nah, man. Even Corbin says he doesn't think it's H. There was one person who influenced it. Okay, guess who else has a lot of influence with, I don't know, the talent? Because he's the chief of talent, the chief of content. Yeah, Hunter has a lot of influence. So yeah, there might be people that just didn't like Corbin and were lobbying for his removal. Doesn't sound like Hunter did a lot. BC, you got to pick your battles. Maybe Hunter went to bat for other people and Corbin was just the odd man out. Cool, okay. You're right. Pick your battles. Corbin, maybe H went to bat for a few people. And when it got to Corbin, other people were like, dude, no, this is it. We're releasing him. What we're saying is, why would you not have a conversation with the talent that has been released after? They put you on a pedestal. People like Corbin look at H like Papa H, like he's a good dude. He's always give us encouragement. He's so much better than Vince because that's how he talks to us. That's how he talks to us. And then when we get fired, he's nowhere to be found. There's no discussion. It's done. Remote silence. That sucks. And even they continue to defend him, and this dude doesn't even have a moment to tell them why they got released. It's so bad. I remember when Vince was doing all those releases before he took off, and Hunter just, they were all going like, yeah, we haven't heard from Hunter at all, and this and that, and I'm like, damn, man, a lot of those were supposedly his peeps. And you honestly think that Hunter didn't know about it. Of course Hunter knew about it. Hunter was a pivotal part of that promotion. And now that Vince is gone, and Hunter is this chief, and you hear the same stories, I hope people's eyes are open now. I mean, this is what Hunter does. He just tells you a bunch of stuff, and then all of a sudden, it's like behind closed doors, they're saying a lot of different stuff. And then you're released, and you're like, I thought maybe it's been a couple months, but maybe Hunter will tell me why. No, Hunter's not telling you why, man. In fact, the next time if you bump into Hunter a year or two from now, he'll go, I didn't even know. I didn't know, man. I had no idea. I found out just like you. I mean, I found out on the interweb machine. I was actually going into Stanford and I was going to have a meeting with Nick on it, and I found out, and I was like, whoa. And I went into that meeting and I said, Nick, what the heck, man? Like, I like Baron. If you would have told me, I would have stopped this. And I was going to tell you, I was going to call you and stuff, but business. So a week turns into a month turned into 3 years. But I was planning on telling you exactly why. I just needed a little bit more time. I'm busy, you know what I mean? I'm busy doing my promos. Are you ready? I'm doing all the commercials and the ads for the pay-per-views, the PLEs, because we're going to different countries. I'm doing documentaries. I'm more in the spotlight than ever before. So I hope you understand, Baron. So anyway, I thought that was an interesting story because Baron Corbin is still talking about how to this day he doesn't have a clue, and Hunter is just not letting him know. Hunter never even talked to him. That's wild, man. That's an absolutely wild story. Did you guys see there's like a nearly 20-minute documentary of Hunter Helmsley behind the scenes of the Royal Rumble? Guys, just 20 minutes of just following around Hunter and watching how he's the man behind the curtain, the great Oz, the Wizard of Oz. He's Oz. He's on headset. He's calling everything, right? And it's just watching the boss go around and have it. Could you imagine Vince and Kennedy doing that? Vince would never do that. Kennedy McMahon would never mark out for himself or put the spotlight on himself if it wasn't best for business, if there wasn't a meaning behind it. He didn't even want to be Mr. McMahon. That was created after the 97 Survivor Series, and he knew it was best for business. Money was booming after that character was created. But he would not have this documentary following him around just because this doesn't bump the business up. That's a cut edited version of 20 minutes. They were following him the entire weekend. You could have put that camera crew on another wrestler. You could have followed along somebody else. Follow along a Karrion Kross. Follow along a Tiffany or somebody else. I'm guessing some cameras were following some other wrestlers, maybe a CM Punk, Cody, and others. So take that camera crew and go. While Hunter, here's a crazy concept, concentrates on the creative that this company is so desperately lacking. But instead, he has a camera crew following him the entire weekend, just like Mania, because they're going to do the same thing because he's going into the Hall of Fame and it's Mania. So you got to follow the commander-in-chief, the chief of all content that has no decisions. He has no control over the actual talent being released. Is from what we're being told, bullshit. He's commander-in-chief when it's fitting, and when it's not good news, Hunter has nothing to do with it. This is what we do. It's spotlight on this dude. There's no bigger mark for Hunter Hearst Helmsley than Hunter Hearst Helmsley himself. We are seeing more Hunter Helmsley in his 50s with a gimmick in his chest, a pacemaker, so he can't even wrestle, he can't get into big storylines. But we're seeing more of this dude now when he should be on headset or with a pen in his hand, getting creative, if he can even be creative. That's what he should be doing. But instead, we're getting more Hunter now than I've seen him in the Attitude Era. That's what I got for you guys, man. 44 Dive. That is a wrap. Hopefully, maybe later this evening, we can be live before Raw. Maybe even the first hour of Raw. There's some more stories I would like to go over. I have a lot of business to attend to, so I'm going to down the rest of these coffees. And we're going to be 44 Dive straight rolling amplified status throughout the day. But if I'm able to take care of everything, I would like to be live later this evening. I don't know if that's going to be members only. But stay subscribed and notified. Smash all the things down below. Of course, the up, help out that algorithm. But smash out all the things. If we do a pop-up live, you guys will be the first to know about it. But there could be more content later before Raw hits the airwaves. So just be on the lookout there, man. Subscribe, notified, all the things down below. But for now, that is 44 Dive. That is a wrap. And until next time, there will be that next time. Who do I go? Oh, man. This is like high school all over. Which girl do I go to? I'm going for my latte. Sorry. You were free. What can I say? pay for this one. Salute, unit. Until next time, it will be that next time. That is a wrap. Peace.